hoping I'm live and ready to go. If somebody could give me a thumbs up somewhere that I'm good to go. Yep. William Geoghegan, you are watching. Great. Hi. Hi from Jerusalem. Hi from Scotland, Adam.
Can't see the wee cross.
See it now? I've got my husband helping. Can you see the little cross?
No.
No?
Yes.
I think somebody has to make a video of how difficult it is to set up for a live TV show. Boy, it's hard. I'm hoping you can see that now, and I'm ready to go, but now I can't move or it'll all fall over. Welcome. I hope people have the time right. Slightly earlier time tonight of 6:15 start. So I think we'll just get going. We've got a lot to get through. This looks like a saltire actually. It looks like a Scottish flag. That wasn't intentional at all. It was set up for our warm-up welcome game. Welcome to Kodaly Inspired Music Education Part 3. This is the final part, unfortunately. I've really enjoyed being here, and I'm very grateful to the Benedetti Foundation for allowing a Kodaly session to run 3 times. This has been great. I hope it's not moving too quickly. There's a limit to what obviously you can fit into 3 weeks, but we're giving it our best shot to give you an overview of the whole Kodaly philosophy as much as I can in 3 weeks. Obviously there's much more I would want to say, but I really wanted to show that it's not just for little children and it's not just about So Me. So our warm-up song today, it's a glorious sunny day here and I've had huge issue blocking out the light, so I hope you can see the screen okay. We did have storms at the weekend, so I thought I would sing my favourite song. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away, I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away, I'm gonna dance all day. So this little flag here just reminded me of some Scottish dancing we all did as children. We did something called the sword dance in Scotland, and these were actually swords. And those who went to Highland dance the Highland dance classes will remember doing the sword dance, and you had to kind of dance in and out this little formation. So it kind of reminded me of sword dancing. So this little game is created with sword dancing in mind, but less dangerous than with swords, obviously. It goes like this. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. So the first part of our little song, basically the one stick is walking round all the swords like this. And then I'm gonna dance all day. We're going in between all the formations, so 2 side by side, 2 side by side, 2 across, 2 across. And I'm thinking of Richard Michael while I'm doing this. I'm going to do this off beat, not on the beat. So it's going to go, I'm gonna dance all day. So the first one on the beat. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. If you haven't got sticks, just try and imagine using your fingers right now with a little cross, and later you can practice it, because of course, as usual, this will be recorded and you can go back and watch it as many times as you want if you want to have another go at this game. So once more, and then I'll go on to the second part of the game. I don't care if the rain comes down, I'm gonna dance all day. I don't care if the rain comes down. I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. So just that little second section. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, click, click. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, click, click. Here's how we go. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. Once more from the top, and then I'll relieve myself of the pain of sitting on a pile of cushions like this. Here we go. I don't care if the rain comes down. I'm gonna dance all day. I don't care if the rain comes down. I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. Hey ho, carry me away. I'm gonna dance all day. So our little dance song, let's get rid of all of these. Our little dance song takes me back to my childhood. Maybe some of you watching remember the sword dancing. It was just great fun. So what does this introduce for us today? We've gone diatonic. For the past 2 weeks we've really built up the pentatonic scale, and now we are going diatonic, the introduction of the pitch Fa. So our hand signs now for this song: do, do, re, do, mi, fa, fa, so. Do, do, re, mi, do, mi, re, do. So here's our new pitch Fa. Interestingly, the hand signs in themselves are not random hand signs. They actually do have a function. So Fa, pointing down because it's a semitone to Mi. Fa, Mi, very, very close. So the function of that note, Fa, usually resolves down to Mi. So let's have a go at this song using our hand signs. Off we go. Do, do, re, mi, do. Mi, fa, fa, so. Do, do, re, mi, do. Mi, re, do. And the second half literally just introduces the high do then, but I really wanted just to focus on that pentachord. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So why hand signs? Hand signs are an excellent visual aid for children. Not only do they show the shape, because I know that we can often just show the melodic shape with hand movement in some way, but actually more than just hand movement, it gives an absolute solid foundation and absolute placement within a scale. A function within the scale. So an excellent tool for children who are much more visual learners than they are auditory. But actually many adults have said to me as well, the hand signs really help them to consolidate the intervals. So they're very useful for showing phrasing. I don't know if you noticed the very first time I did it, I used this hand for phrase 1. Do, do, re, mi, do. Mi, fa, fa, so. And then changed hand. Do. So almost like a conductor that you're bringing in the next phrase. Change hand, new phrase. Very, very useful for two-part singing. So we can warm up a choir if we're about to sing. This song in particular works beautifully in canon almost anywhere because it's all centered around do, mi and so. So warming up for that triadic movement, we can have two-part hand signs. Why don't you sing with this hand and I'll sing this hand? So I'm on do and you're on so. Here we go. Do, a me and a ray together. Oh, shouldn't be allowed. Or should it? Actually, why do we always work on the consonant sounds for young children? You know, the nice sounds. And I put that in inverted commas because I don't think we have a right to say to a child, what is a nice sound? What's a not nice sound or a dissonant sound? But actually, the children are so focused on what is their hand actually doing that they're not put off by what is it they're hearing. They're absolutely not thinking about the other part at all, but they are hearing the other part, and that's the really important thing. For us, as adult musicians, using two-hand signing, we're actually aiming to hear both of those sounds in our head. If we're doing this exercise with children, where one group will follow one hand and one group follow another, of course we need to know what is the sound we expect back again, because only then can we correct it. So practice your two-part hand signing. Maybe when you're out doing dog walking. Looks a bit like Tai Chi. Have a go at it. Actually, it gets easier. The more you do it, the easier it actually becomes. But a very, very useful tool, the hand signs for two-part signing. So when we've introduced this fa to children, we really need to then emphasize and make them aware of scale structure. Just working with this do pentachord, always circling mi and fa are close together, always making children very aware of that fact, because actually it's another one of those things that's difficult for a child to understand. If we're in the key of D major, for example, and we're here, do re mi fa so, and we tell children mi and fa are very close together, actually they don't look any more close together than any of the other notes do. So visually on the stave, it's quite difficult. My husband's saying he can't see the top of the screen, so maybe neither can you. I'll try and move it just a bit, but I'm a bit worried about moving it at all. Let's try. He's still shaking his head. The joys of technology. I've got a thumbs up now. Good. So this mi and fa being very close together is a difficult thing for children to comprehend, and we should think of it close together in sound. I actually love the helping hand. The helping hand is so this, what you're seeing here is what the child would look at themselves. Yeah, they're looking at their own palm of their hand. So what I'm showing you is what the child would actually look at. And that do pentachord, do, re, mi, fa, so, mi and fa being close together in this way. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So singing our little I don't care if the rain comes down. Do, do, re, 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 mi, do. Mi, fa, fa, so. Do, do, re, 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 mi, do. Mi, re, do. So absolutely always visually locking that thing together, and they begin to associate. Mi and fa are always together. Actually, I'll never forget teaching a child. They were working their way through the ABRSM theory books, and you know there's a question where they should mark where the semitones are in the scales. So the child was painstakingly playing the scale on his air piano and playing and working out where are the semitones. Then he would write them in the little book. Painstakingly working out where's the next. Then he would write them in his book. And I said, you do realise that they're always between the third and fourth note and the seventh and eighth note. And he looked at me like, you know when children look at you like you're an idiot, that you're the one who must be stupid. And he said, but they can't be, because all scales start in a different place. Yes, but the semitone will always be between the third and the fourth and the seventh and the eighth pitches. And it was like I had given him the biggest gift ever when he then could finish that question in record time, just marking in where those semitones were, because it's just a pattern. And children need to understand the pattern of those scales, where the tones and semitones actually lie. It shouldn't be a case of every scale is different, as the child said. They all start in a different note. Of course they do, but the pattern remains the same. So here's a little game. We're going to look at this thing on the board now, and you can see where there's a gap. So where there's a tone, eventually there will be a pitch in there, of course, but mi and fa, there's no gap. So we're going to play a game now. When we sing do, any of the pitches we sing, we clap our hand. When there's something in between, we click our fingers. So it'll look like this. I'll show you first, then you can have a go. Do, re, mi, fa, so. And then we should come back down. So, fa, mi, re, do. And the 3 little taps on the shoulder just to change direction. No other musical reason, just a change of direction. Because we should go ascending and descending. So hopefully that makes sense what we have to do. Where there's no gap, we don't have a click. Let's have a go together. Off we go. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So, fa, mi, re, do. And I changed hands when I was descending because I'm a great believer in when we're playing these games, we shouldn't always be right hand dominant. We should do things with both hands in the same time. Left-handed people, I think, are much better with their right hand than right-handed people are with their left. Because left-handed people have kind of been forced to live in a right-handed world. So when we're doing these exercises, always make sure we do both directions for the sake of left-handed children, but more importantly for the sake of coordination. Let's try it one more time. Let's start in a different place. Off we go. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So, fa, mi, re, do. So this, all of course with children will stem from songs which introduce that pitch. Clearly with you, I'm moving much, much quicker. I've got 3 weeks, and please don't think children would get anywhere near where we are in 3 45-minute sessions. It takes a long time to build up, but I really want to move a bit quicker with you as adults. With every new pitch, of course, there comes a whole load of new interval learning. This new pitch fa, very, very easy when it moves by step from mi. Do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi. Bit more tricky when it becomes fa, fa, re. Because re, fa, mi, then we have a skip. Even more tricky, do, do, fa, mi, re, do. So when children in the Kodaly inspired way will say to me, I've done fa. I never quite know what does that mean. I've done fa means I know the hand sign, or I've done fa means actually whatever you throw at me, I can find that pitch in the context of any other interval. So it all needs practice. It's not a case of introduce then move on. So of course we should have songs to practice all these intervals. Look for the material that we'll find and practice all those intervals. Here's one such song. No. Can you try and sing it for me? I'm actually not going to sing it for you this time. I'm just going to see how you're doing with this old solfa. How's it coming along? Off you go. Did you hear it in your head like you were reading a book? That what we talked about last week? That we should read music in the same way that we read a book, hearing the sound as if we were hearing the words on a page in a book. Next phrase, exactly the same melodic shape, but up a third. So starting this M on mi, but did you notice the first phrase, this really challenging interval, do, re, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, de, fa. So it allows us to practice that little interval. Let's go with the second phrase. Off we go. And the third phrase is so, so easy. You'll never believe it. you can find your do very easily in this little melody. This is a beautiful little canon, actually, really, really lovely. Why don't you try and sing it in canon with me? So I show you this line, I'll sing this line. When I go on to the second line, you start this one. Let's have a go together. Oops, first me, then you. Here I go. Do, re, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do, mi, fa, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi, la, so, fa, mi, do, 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 do. I've no idea what's going out there. Are there a bunch of people singing do and the neighbours are wondering what on earth is going on? So I'll leave that one with you. Practice maybe on your own, singing and playing in canon with yourself, or singing and signing. What I said earlier about this two-part hand signing, if we sing do, re, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do, while we're singing this line, we're signing this other one. Useful tool if you're a teacher, because you can help the children with this one, but you can be singing the other part. So they're on do, but you're singing mi, fa, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi, la, so, fa, mi. So develop that skill over time. If the hand signs are new to you, it just takes a bit of practice, but it's a very, very useful tool and very worthwhile practicing. Here's a little song called Lie, Lie, Lie. Lots of words to learn here, really. Not really. Only one. Lie. Here's what I want you to do first. Just clapping this way. I'll show you. You do it straight back to me. That was my knees, by the way. It's actually a table. It sounds like I've got wooden knees. One more time. Here I go. And while you're doing that, just adding, I'll move across a bit so you can see, just adding. La, 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 so, la. Have a go. 1, 2, and off you go. La, 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 so, la. See if you can do that now without my help at all. 1, 2, and off you go. Now do it one more time, but I'm going to add another little melody. Stick to your melody. Off we go. Mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la. How did you do? One last time. Off we go. Mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la. Why don't some of us now, and if there's more than one of you at home, you could do this as a little duet. Somebody stick on the la, and can some people do mi, 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 re, re, mi, and the other person, if there are more than one in your house, la, 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 so, la. And I'll sing the melody. 1, 2, and off we go. Mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la. So we're piecing together this little melody from an accompaniment, building up a harmonic part and then adding the melody later. And the children will learn just in the words first. I'm doing sol, fa for you, but of course the children would learn Lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, lie, lie. They would learn the melody, and from that melody comes our final diatonic pitch. La, ti, do. And if we look at this pitch again, it's showing us semitone, pointing to do because it's a semitone, pointing to me because it's a semitone. So the sense is there in the hand signs, the logic is there in the hand signs. Let's have a go at singing this little melody from the board. Off we go, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la. I'm trying to keep my hand signs away from the board, but I'm getting in the way. So maybe I'll just move to the side and let you hand sign by yourself. Off you go. Let's do the next bit of the melody. Here we go. La ti do re re, la ti do re, la ti do re re do ti la. So finding the little songs for children that have exactly the pitches that you need to teach a specific concept is probably one of the most important things in the safety and the security of building up this pitch picture for children. The whole range of tones, the whole range of intervals that comes from it as well. And when they've learned those pitches, then they begin to use those pitches in a new way. So here's another little Hungarian, a little Hungarian melody. Actually, probably one of my favourite melodies in the whole wide world. La ti do ti do ti la, la ti do ti la la, la ti do ti do ti la, la ti do ti la la. So that melody is sung twice. Have a go at this melody because we're going to play around with it a little bit. Off you go. La ti do ti la, la ti do ti la la, la ti do ti la, la ti do ti la la. And of course, what we could do is ask you to sing it in absolute names as well. D, F, E, F, E, D, D, F, E, D, D. And of course, change keys, sing it in absolute names. So a good kind of routine for children to sing something in solfa, to sing it in absolute names, to put it on their instrument. Here's the second half of this little melody. Mi, re, do, ti, la, la, ti, do, re, mi, mi, re, do, ti, la, la, ti, do, la, la. Have a look just at that opening melody again. Just try and memorise. Actually, not that one, this one. The second half. Mi, re, do, ti, la, la, ti, do, re, mi, mi, re, do, ti, la, la, ti, do, la, la. So actually not too much to memorise because this is the same. It's just this little bit at the end. Instead of going all the way up to me, la, ti, do, la, la. I'm going to make it disappear in just 10 seconds. I hope you've got it memorised. La ti do ti. Forget the first bit, actually, we'll just do the second half. Mi re do ti la, la ti do re mi, mi re do ti la, la ti do la la. If we were to play around with this little pentachord melody and change that la to do. So we're actually not doing the related minor key now, we're doing the tonic. Tonic major. We were in D minor, we're now going into D major. So our little melody is transformed. Do, re, mi, do, do, re, mi, do. Can you do the second half? So, fa, mi, do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, re, mi, do. So remember our little hand. Where are the semitones? Yeah, right here. There's another solfa that we could use now, which would sound exactly the same. The outcome would be exactly the same. If we started our melody on so, the T and the Do are in exactly the same place. So that semitone remains the same. So the sound will be exactly the same. Re, do, ti, la, so la, ti, do, re, do, ti, la, so la, ti, la, so. So actually, this is the beginning, very early beginning of modal work. We're coming home to so. Actually, to that point in the scale, this will be Mixolydian mode, but to that point, it sounds exactly the same. The first 5 pitches are exactly the same. If we go back to our La melody, la, ti, do, la. Now our helping hand, the semitone's not here anymore. Oops, that right left mirror caught me there. The semitone is now here. La, ti, do, la. So again, that security and structure of scales being really important. But there's another solfa we could use here too, that the sound would be exactly the same. If we start on re, re, mi, fa, re, sounds exactly as la, ti, do, la. So we could sing it on re, and of course this would be the start of the Dorian mode scale. Re, mi, fa, sol, la. The very opening of the Dorian mode scale. And if we moved on to start in different places, if we started on fa, sol, la, ti, do, we'll find that that semitone is moved place again. It's gone to a different place. Fa, sol, so, fa, which sounds a bit like do, re, mi. But then the end, do, di, la, so, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We're getting into really more advanced territory now, but I can tell you honestly that modes made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever when I read about them academically in a book. Sharpened, raised sixth and flattened this and dear knows all what. I had absolutely no idea, and I couldn't remember the rules. I couldn't remember which was which. And if I had learned them in solfa, I know that I would have understood them better, because it was only when I did them in solfa for the very first time on a Kodaly training course that the penny majorly dropped in my head. It makes sense. Actually, it's just a different placement of where that semitone actually lives. And that's all it is. Re to re, mi to mi, fa to fa, etc. So suddenly the logic of the modes rang true in my head. Oh, how lovely is harmony. I'm using solfa as a way to help children understand harmony. I'm harking back now to Oh How Lovely Is the Evening, the melody we did earlier. And if we listen, if we have a look, we'll see very clearly what the harmony would be that we would accompany this melody with. That very first box there is clearly, we have to harmonise it with a tonic triad. As with the second box, as with the final beat there. But the one in the middle, we have to harmonise with chord 4. So we've got chord 1, do, mi, sa, mi, do. Chord 4, fa, la, do, la, fa. So if we were to listen to our little melody one more time, I've blocked out all the other triads here. What I want you to sing is the accompaniment. So you'll choose a note from chord 1. Every time I point here to chord 1, choose a pitch from there. When I go across here to chord 4, choose a pitch from here. If you were being really boring, but I don't believe anybody wants to possibly be as boring as this, but if you were being really boring, you would sing do, 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 but that would be desperately boring. You wouldn't do that, would you? Choose any pitch from here that you want as a starter. And sing, when I point here, sing one of those pitches. If I repeat, of course you can change the pitch within here. Okay, let's have a little try. Sorry. Oh! I think on here, I've got the accompaniment somewhere. Here we go. Do, re, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do, 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 So if we sing harmony with children, if we sing triads with children, it gives them a much greater understanding. Years ago I saw a lesson where this is exactly what I think half the children in the class must have been saying. I have no idea what you're talking about. What's a plagal cadence? The plagal cadence was explained to children as, it's finished, but it's not quite as finished as a perfect cadence. It's finished, but it's not quite as finished as a perfect cadence. I've no idea what you're talking about. Actually, this way of explaining a plagal cadence, yes, of course it's a finished cadence, it's closed, or we call it an amen cadence, but do you know reality how many children know what amen sounds like? They hear it as two syllables, amen. Amen could equally be, in a child's eye, oh yeah, it went amen. Perfect. It must be plagal cadence. It went amen. Actually, if children have sung the melody, they know what to listen for. They know that if they hear do, do, the repeated and tonic pitch, they know what to listen out for. They know what the pitches are because they've been inside the harmony by singing it. And this is really crucial, that we don't learn harmony as an academic exercise with rules and regulations, that we actually sing the harmony. And if we sing the harmony, we can feel it much better. We feel the chord progression, therefore we recognise it when we hear it again. And this can be taken to different levels, obviously. This was a very simple exercise. We can make it a much more complex exercise. Why don't we try and sing this one? Same exercise. If I were you, I would choose a repeated note or the one nearest. Then don't make it too difficult for yourself. You could, if you wanted, go really complex, up to you. But my advice would be, if there's a repeated note, repeat it. So you could do mi, re, mi, do, mi, re, do, do. You can jump about anywhere within. But let's see what actually happens. I'm not going to sing anything. I just want you to find your pitches from within there. Here we go. I wonder if anybody's hearing the chords in their head. I wonder, I'm just looking at anybody, has anybody got it? Does anybody know what this chord progression is? It's one of my favourite chord progressions, possibly because it's one of my favourite songs, but let's just see, can anybody work out what it actually might be? So, sorry, we're in this game. Is anybody giving me an answer? Nobody yet. Maybe you'll recognise it when I play. So I play, choose your starting pitch, and you're going to sing the accompanying harmony. Choose a do, re, mi, re, so. now somebody recognises what that song was. Great chord progression, but actually Let It Be, you're absolutely right. Well done. Let It Be by the Beatles. Actually, I did this with a group of teenage boys because the song appealed to them very much. It's the same principle, that they understand the harmony through singing it. And this is the most important thing. We can, of course, learn bass lines as well as melody lines. So the harmonic progression now, we're going to sing a little harmonic progression here, which is the bass line of a piano piece of music. And it always intrigues me with that grade 8 question where children have to sing back the lower part from memory. And it's the lower part of a 3-part piano piece. Sing back the lower part from memory. And actually there's 2 tasks there. Before they can memorise the lower part, they have to be able to hear the lower part. And that's frequently the stumbling block, that unless they're a bass in a choir, unless they play the double bass, if they're always on a melody instrument, actually they find it really challenging to hear the lower part. So therefore they can't memorise it. So singing sometimes the bass parts, opening the child's ear to another melodic line, but basically the harmonic function. So we're going to sing through this here. No rhythm, but it's all very obvious. We're moving in crotchets, and here we're moving in quavers. I'll help you in here anyway by pointing. Here we go. Do, mi, so, mi. Do, mi, so, do. Fa, mi, re, ti. Mi, re, do, la. Re, do, ti, so. Do, mi, fa, so, do, so, do. Have a go without me. Off you go. Sing it now while the piano part, the melody part is played. So there's our do, here we go. Do, mi, so, mi, do, mi, so, do. Fa, mi, re, ti, mi, re, do, la. Re, do, ti, so. Do, mi, fa, so, do, so, do. Fa, ti, mi, la. Re, so, do. So actually really beginning to hear harmonic patterns like circles of fifths, and being able then to listen to the whole piece of music, and actually if you've sung that part, your ear begins to tune into that part. So not always with children singing the melody line, sometimes singing the bass part as well. Obviously, I'm talking about more advanced students now. I'm not talking about the youngest children. But of course, the youngest children can do the pendulum swing, do, so, which is a very early stage of harmonic hearing. That circle of fifths is something that we're all very aware of, and I'm sure you're all very aware of. In one of the pieces you're playing, actually, the Paganini, is exactly that circle of fifths. So this minuet in A follows the same circle of fifths pattern. I don't want to sing it now because I'm looking at the clock and I'm very aware of the time, and there's one very important thing that I really want to say before I finish. So if you're watching this again, you can have a little sing at this yourself. I'll just play. La, re, mi, fa, sol, do, re, mi, fa, mi, do, re, mi, la. Look at that little piece of music and try it through, singing the part yourself, that circle of fifths part. But somebody asked me last week about modulation. Is do always C? Do absolutely is not always C. Do is the home note of any key we are in. Relative solmization related key, related intervals. Before we can go into modulation, I just want to mention altered pitches. Obviously, all of these pitches have an associated altered pitch. And on the way up, they all have an E sound. So, Do becomes D, Re becomes Re, and there really isn't a hand sign because it's a bit indistinct. And if you had to hand sign at that level, actually, you really don't need to. But here's the most important one. Fa becomes Fi, because we need that to go to the dominant. So all those altered pitches end with an E sound ascending. And isn't it interesting that Mi is already an E sound, and of course Mi's already a semitone to Fa. Ti's already an E sound, and it's a semitone to Do. So it's very, very logical. On the way down, they all have an O sound. Do, ti, to, la, lo, so, so, fa, mi, mo, re, ro, do. I don't have time to go into all those altered pitches, but you can work on them yourself. But I really wanted to talk about modulation, because for me, it's one of the crucial things in the success of the Kodaly way, that we can feel when we move to a new key, and we can feel the function of the note within that new key. So these are Kodaly's words, not mine. With relative solmization, we define not only the name of the note in letters, but also its function. Moreover, if the piece moves to another key, we define that key, for the Do will immediately become different. Thus, we have at the same time defined the modulation as well. I'm sure you all know the little back piece that I think is in a Suzuki book. This one. It ends very firmly, that first section, in G major. You can see here that part. And we would call it, therefore, Re, mi, re, do, di, do. That was very bad timing. Re, mi, re, do, di, do. G is very much the home note. But where does the next cadence go? Would we use that sol fa there? Because we've absolutely gone to D major, haven't we? You can see we've absolutely gone to a new place. So we wouldn't use that sol fa at all. Why would we sing ti, re, fi, so? We would use mi, so, ti, do, because that is the new function in this new key. How do we get there is the really important thing. You'll know the second half, I'm sure. So have a little listen. Look what happens here. There's a pivot note there that we change from re to so. So instead of singing constantly still in G major, we've gone into a new place. Do, la, ti, do, so, fi, mi, fi, re. The re becomes so at the same pitch. Yet another very good use of hand signs. The re becomes so, and we're in a new place. So, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, so, ti, do. So Do is now D, because we're now firmly in D major. This is a bog standard associated board question, isn't it? What key did we start in? What key do we end in? And so many times I see children absolutely have a guess at that thing. Oh, there's a C sharp, maybe we've gone to D minor. And actually they've no idea of the function, they've no idea of the sound of the melody. So modulation is one of the most crucial things in the Kodaly way. That Do becomes the home note of any major key we're in, La the home note of any minor key we modulate to. I realise that I've gone 100 miles an hour over 3 weeks to try and show you a bit about the Kodaly way, but I really wanted you to feel, and I hope you can see, that it's not just So Me for little children. It's way more than that. It's actually a pathway to understanding how music works orally. And that is the really crucial thing, how music works orally, not just how music works academically or intellectually. Kodaly, I just want to finish with the words of Kodaly. I've got to finish with the words of Kodaly. And actually, for me, possibly one of the most important things that he says, and very touching in this current world that we're living in with its troubles. We hope that we will unify in a world chorus with you and sing a better future for mankind. Singing and music making together unites us together. And I'm so thrilled that so many people have joined in the Benedetti sessions from all over the world. It's really beautiful that so many people could unite in a world chorus, and for the better of mankind, definitely. Are there any questions? I'm just having a look, but I can't actually see any. And there may have been questions, I'm really sorry. There may have been questions that, of course, I haven't answered because I was kind of on a roll and couldn't really see the questions as they appeared. So I'm sorry if I haven't answered your questions and you have some questions, but feel free to put up any questions you have there. The post is going up. Feel free to make any comments and I will try to answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much for tuning in, and it's been so lovely to be with you all, and enjoy week 3 of the Benedetti Foundation sessions. I can't wait for the concert on Sunday. It's going to be so amazing. Bye everyone.